What's up, guys? Welcome to episode... Shut up, Corey. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 67 of Unfinished Business. We got Corey, we got Tyler, and we don't have Matt, who is getting married. He's getting things ready. Congratulations to Matt. But we do have, cross out the T's, add a C. We got Mac tonight for the podcast.
Nice.
Once again, filled in for me. He's back. Hopefully he tanks Matt's picks because we're tied now, but we'll get into that in a little bit. I've played disc golf once since our last podcast, and I played a par 2 course near me, and I would like to recommend everybody go do that, because I've had the experiences of weekly challenge, hardest course in your area, got absolutely destroyed, folded like a lawn chair by a disc golf course, and then I went out to just ace runs par 2. I felt so much better about myself. I was the man after that round. I was in such a good mood. It was incredible.
Do you want to tell the class how many aces you got?
They're fake because, I mean, they weren't first try.
They're not fake.
I threw it in 3 times on 3 different holes, and I cooked up preview. I think I have a banger video idea. So I'm going to go back out there, same thing with my 5 Nexuses that I own, and I'm not going to leave until I ace with all of them. But as soon as I ace with one of them, it's just back in the bag. Like, I can't throw it anymore. And I can't sit on a hole. Like, I have to keep doing rounds. So eventually it'll just come down to me playing the course with a disc and have to ace for real.
I thought about something like that the other day, of if I lived in Austin or near Austin, of doing a series of how many hours would it take for me to ace every hole on Flying Armadillo.
Yeah, so similar idea. It was also probably one of the worst performing videos that I put out recently, so I think great that I'm gonna just do it again pretty soon. So that's really good for me.
Didn't you say you were gonna do punishments every time you go around?
So that's what I forgot. Every round that I get through of 9 out there, each one, I'm gonna give away a Nexus. So
oh wow.
You know what you should also do? You should pick a driver that you need to throw full speed on every hole.
Just absolutely rip.
Yeah, just because I want to see it.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be sick.
I might do a video of that. Just go to a local.
You can't leave until I ace, but I also have to throw as hard as possible.
As hard.
Do we have any par 2s like that near us, Corey?
I would consider Mary Beth.
I mean, it's a pitch and putt. It's not a par 2 course.
What about the...
Yeah, that's what I genuinely really like about that course here, is that it was genuinely made for children, basically. So legitimately, I think there are a couple holes that in that challenge are going to take me a while to ace if I do ace on those. But I mean, a lot of them are really, really easy.
We have the PMF 9 at Palmer.
I still haven't played that one.
Okay, let's go do it and rip just as hard as possible.
Just full send it straight into the nature center.
Yeah. How many times?
Oh no, you can't hit the nature center.
Here's my issue. How many times
none of them are aimed that way.
That you could just rip a full drive at a super short hole and then lose it and then have to look for 20 minutes and then find it. That's my concern with doing this at the par 2 course, is I'm just gonna lose it.
Yeah.
So with the one that I'm talking about in Detroit, there's no heavy woods, so you wouldn't lose it that way, but you could lose it by throwing it hard enough that you could hit someone on the basketball court and then they just take your frisbee. This is mine now. Yeah, because
if I hit them and they took it, they could have it though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
But there's I think there's 2 holes that if you threw as hard as you could and you just miss, you're going straight into the basketball. So that would be fun.
That would be fun. I am a person that has a tech disc and a net and missed the net with my tech disc at one point. So anything can happen.
I have so my basket now, I pulled it out of my garage because it's warm enough, and it's just next to the fence. And I have maybe 6 or 7 putters in there. So every time I take my dog out to go to the bathroom, I'll run over, grab some putters, toss them, every single time I have the thought, I want to rip this because I'm just going to hit the fence.
So hard.
Like if I miss, I'm going to hit the fence. If it goes over the fence, there is an old woman that lives right next to me. And I could kill Carol, and I don't want to.
And your air bounce is deadly. So
exactly.
Tight creeps in quick. Would you, okay, hypothetically, if you did kill Carol that way, what are the chances that you're just like, oh, I have no idea what frisbee came into her backyard and killed this old woman? Like that's not me.
What's a frisbee?
Don't look at my shed.
No, it wouldn't be the backyard that I'm worried about. Oh, sorry. She's not directly next to me. I'm on the corner. She's also on the corner. So it would have to go over the street, but I'm afraid that I could go into her windows. Like easily.
No, I guess what I'm saying is that happens. Are you the guy that's taking responsibility? Like when the police come, you're like, yeah, that was me. I threw a frisbee and killed this woman. Or are you just like on the DL for a few weeks?
I don't know how I can answer that on a podcast.
That's the only answer we need.
Also, I'm afraid that I accidentally toss it over and it gets nowhere near her, but then she also just happens to die. That would be terrible.
Just same like timing. So you think for the rest of your life that you killed Carol?
Exactly. Like the disc lands in the street, not even close to her, and then she just happens to, old age. But yeah, that's a big fear of mine.
Do you think you could throw a disc hard enough to break someone's window?
Yeah.
Window, yes.
Yeah.
Bones, no.
I don't
Depends
think so.
on what bone it is.
You don't think? Have you ever seen the clip of the guy with the holster, the disc holster, and he pulls it out and he accidentally breaks his TV?
That was a TV. That's not like it's window glass.
Dude, glass is so much more fragile than you think.
That's what I'm saying. Scott with the clavicle, I could break somebody's clavicle.
Oh, you could break someone's bone if you hit the right one, for sure.
Someone's skull.
Yeah, like a child.
Yeah.
Or a construction worker on the side of the interstate.
Like a fetus.
Or cameraman.
I think this is a video. You guys need to set up some house windows and see if you can break it.
Can I break the window easily to my house with a frisbee?
House window, easily. Car, maybe not, because they're like.
I don't think so.
Please like and subscribe because I have to buy.
What's it called?
Window.
What's it called when they're like laminated in the middle? There's a name for it. Car windows are laminated in the middle, so it's like that's why they don't. What's
the difference in regular glass and tempered glass?
I think tempered glass is harder.
I think tempered is what I'm talking about.
I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to sound stupid.
What would be your disc of choice? What disc would you choose? A nuke?
No, what's the Rakuten?
Got to be a sharp edge.
Z nuke, the Missilin.
Yes.
Or actually, it would be a good video to get a couple windows and then throw like a nuke, and then maybe like a mid, and then like a berg.
I was literally going to say a berg and see what the difference is between throwing a nuke and a berg and a window.
There's no way you break a window with a berg.
The tilt is pretty sharp.
Oh yeah, but you'd have to be able to throw it.
I know.
You'd have to be able to hit the window.
I know.
That's hard.
I could definitely do it with a forehand.
You would trust a forehand over a backhand for that?
For me, it's more accurate.
Tyler,
do you think you throw forehands harder?
You need to come to this course that I played.
Okay.
I want to talk about it, like eventually.
Okay, sorry, this is talking tempered glass with the Unfinished Business game.
Tempered glass, sponsored by Tyler's Tub. So I played a course. It's called, what the heck is it called?
Hey guys, tempered glass.
It's called Astorhurst, which is really hard to say. It is right outside Cleveland, but this course is insane. They've got an amateur layout. They have a professional layout. That's what it's called. And then they have a championship layout. And the championship layout is legitimately like it should be on the Pro Tour if they had tee pads. Because right now it's all gravel, which sucks, but
yeah,
whatever. For instance, hole 1, 511, par 3. Hole 4, 516, par 3. Let's see. There's a couple others that were like,
this is like significantly downhill.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh. No. Hole 1 is dead flat until the very end, and then it dips down a little bit, and the basket's like hidden. But it's like insane. There's a couple others that were like not ridiculous, but the way it was laid out, like I think it was 388 par 3. But the route you would have, it's such a crazy hyzer around this big pine tree. So like it's basically impossible. There's just, this course is crazy. But one of the holes, Tyler, is a forehand where you're on a tee pad, dips down a little bit, comes back up pretty much level with you. And that's probably maybe 100 feet from the tee pad. And then there's 2 pine trees that make a perfect like triple Mando. And you have to just, you just have to pin it through. And then when you get past the pine trees, it's downhill and then to the right behind some other guardian trees. Wow. So it's basically a hook shot forehand, but you have to make it through this gap. And it is so cool. And I thought of you as soon as I threw the disc, because it's just forehand. It's just forehand Tyler.
Did you take a picture of it?
The American flag felon all day.
I did not, but tomorrow I'm going back to film the full video so you could see.
Okay.
I'm so excited for it.
But it was awesome. There's also a couple holes where if you threw off the fairway, you're not getting your disc back because it's like a mountain on the sides. Not a lot of it is actually like hilly, like fairway, but it almost looks like there's a ravine on both sides and they somehow built it up to where it's like a platform. So if you lose your disc, you're not climbing down there.
Gone forever.
Yep.
Aaron Hernandez.
What are y'all's thoughts on courses where they cut fairways into tall grass and they intentionally leave the off the fairway as tall grass?
They have the hilliest course in my area like that, and I'm fine with it.
What do you consider tall grass? Like how high?
I'm talking like
knee height
and above.
I don't mind it.
I think it's cool. I think in practice it gets a little annoying.
Yeah, so I think it looks good more than anything. The thing that annoys me about my local course that does this on a couple holes is it's not quite tall grass where you get like the full aesthetic of like, oh, that's significantly taller than the fairway. But it's also they leave it like just tall enough that if a disc is flat, the grass is over it. So like you get all of the annoyance and like none of the, oh, that looks pretty.
Yeah.
How close to the fairway are you talking? Are you talking fairway and then just tall grass?
Yeah, I was about to say I would love it if they did shortcut rough and then long cut rough.
Yeah,
that's what this course was. This course looked like a golf course. So basically, it was fairway, and then it was rough, and then there was like the brush. Yeah, and then on the other side of the brush, you could see like a different fairway. So it was just
how wide? So cool. Like what is that to stay? So like fairway is the fairway. How much long cut do you get before it's like brush? Would you say like width in feet ish?
Depends on where you were. Sometimes it was like 5 to 7 feet, maybe. Okay. It was like basically you could stand there and then there was brush. Yeah. And then other places maybe like 20 feet and then brush. So you could actually see the layers of like height. It was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really cool.
Hey, I got a quick question. I know the question is one gorilla, 100 men. Could 100 men kill a gorilla? I think the real question needs to be asked. how many men are dying in the process of killing the gorilla? That's the real question.
I think at least 10.
Okay.
I'm going 50.
How?
Half. Devastation.
I'm talking like a gorilla on a couple white monsters.
Juiced up.
I thought when you said white monsters, you meant the men.
So at least a couple are dying.
At least a couple. At least a couple.
It's just way
So
different.
Is this just a fist fight?
Yeah. Have you not seen this anywhere, Corey?
I've heard the question, but I've never actually seen anybody like.
I mean, first
about
off, are we on a consensus that the 100 men are killing the gorilla?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why I want to ask.
100 men.
Yes.
You could literally lay on top of it and suffocate it.
Right. So that's why I'm saying how many men are dying in the process of doing this?
So is this average men?
Yes.
Average men. I think the linchpin to this is that like the men have to like mentally come to an understanding that some of us are going to die.
Yeah.
It's like I think the downside of 100 men and one gorilla is like realistically, like there's only so much gorilla for 100 men to affect, right? Before you're just kind of in waves at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You also have to take into consideration that not that many guys would probably be able to stomach like punching a gorilla to death. Because it's not weapons. Like it's not like you pull the trigger or you throw the spear and it just hits them. It's we need to punch this thing that's looking back at me with like the same face of like I'm dying as
I don't know. I'm under the interpretation that it is full bloodlust from both sides. It's not like gorilla being defensive and men like being apprehensive about punching gorilla. It's I'm gonna destroy this gorilla.
This is to save your species on both sides.
Yeah, but you got to think like after a while. Say there's like 50 guys holding this gorilla down and a handful of them are just punching it. There is no bloodlust of like I'm still gonna kill you. It's I'm dying.
To me, this is like if the 300 Spartans worked office jobs. Like that's the mentality they have. They're going down swinging.
Yeah.
You know,
which is fine, but you said average dudes.
Well, I'm not saying that every single person is average. I'm saying you're getting a collection of random 100 guys. You'll get some really strong, some not strong, some tall, some short.
I mean, you might have.
I don't know if you know this
out there.
Would we be going for a dive comp?
Oh, Matt.
Matt's a goner.
That's the distraction.
No offense, Matt, but you're getting picked up and thrown at the gorilla as a distraction. And I'm doing that this weekend at your wedding.
He's gonna be on the ground on the way. All right, here's my question. You have 100 men and one gorilla, except one of your men is any MPO disc golfer with 10 distance drivers. What MPO professional disc golfer are you putting on task with 10 distance drivers to help the cause?
AB.
It has to be Simon.
Oh yeah, Simon, you're right.
He's got the power and the accuracy.
Yeah.
He's putting a full 360, 95 mile an hour into the jugular.
Can you imagine he turns into like David from David and Goliath with the
sling, but it's what's an MVP a delirium?
Yeah.
Man. So anyways,
I was gonna say David Wiggins, but
I just feel like I don't know how accurate. 10 shots.
Yeah. He just takes out 10 of the humans.
He's ripping them, but I mean,
pure power. I think he wins out, but.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sticking with 50.
Yeah, I think at least 25.
Too, like you get hit by the first driver, but then the gorilla might just have a distance driver now. Like
the gorilla starts slinging them back at you.
He catches it and just whips it back.
It's just Simon and a gorilla playing guts with each other.
Yeah.
This is how we find out that gorillas could throw a disc like 700 feet.
Man.
They just know
surely
it's
you can
perfect
train a
form.
gorilla to do that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Tyler, you played any disc golf recently?
No, none. I gotta be
All right.
honest. I have
On to the next
not.
segment.
We've been eating outside for dinner, and we put my kids in the playground, and I have a basket back there, so I've just been putting with some discs that are in the basket. P2, Warden, Shogun. That's about it. I haven't thrown anything, to be honest.
Putting's going to be on 10 though. Next round. Putting's ready.
Maybe.
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 Speaking
Yeah,
of putting,
oh,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I will say this isn't why I haven't been playing a lot, but I do have like this real bad pain in my hand right here, my wrist, where when I go down like this, it hurts really bad. So everyone's trying to tell me it's arthritis in my wrist, but
What's that from?
I don't know. Come on, man. It's the thing is like I can go like this. All this is fine. All this is fine.
Nice.
But as soon as I go like this in like a disc golf like motion, cooked.
Disc golf motion.
Isn't that that was the AJ Risley
disc
thing,
golf.
right? I think that was what why AJ Risley stopped playing. 'Cause he had the same
really?
yeah, specifically like in his thumb wrist area.
Yeah. I can feel it like when I push my thumb down, I can feel it really stretching. So I don't know. I think I did something to my thumb or something, and it's been like that for a month though. So I don't know.
Gotta start playing.
Oh, you
lefty.
man.
No way.
I've been playing a little bit, not as much as I want to. Corey has been dragging me to the course at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just cannot get the will to go practice putt.
Oh,
I can't do it because I can't putt inside. I realize that it destroys my putting stroke. Oh, there
Yeah.
goes Corey. It destroys my putting stroke. So I need to go outside.
good.
It's warm enough to do that now, but I live on a second floor apartment. And so I don't want to have to lug
That's
that
tough.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to have to lug it. And then I have to worry about like annoying my neighbors and stuff.
Dude, get a rope and just like,
And
Just take it out the window.
yeah.
you have a patio thing.
I've been thinking about investing in one of those pop-up baskets and just keeping it in my truck.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
idea.
the best solution. But other than that, just been playing. I played a tournament 2 weekends ago. Did not great the first round. Played very well the second round. I think it was almost 1040 rated. So I came in third.
Nice.
And yeah. My fiance is in the chat talking about my putting excuses.
Oh
I'm
wow.
gonna say that's got to be the
Yo,
highest rated round
add
that will be
him.
referenced by somebody on the podcast. Just gonna put that out there.
It was pretty good. The pizza round will be higher. I'm still waiting for the little
That is
Caesar
true.
challenge.
Oh
Well, we have
shoot,
to
we
wait.
still gotta get some little Caesars in.
It's spring,
I
boys.
would say it
Yeah.
is.
I've been
prime time.
fiending.
It's prime time for this.
well, let's go
challenge.
this week. Let's get the details hashed out and we'll get it going.
I thought you were gonna say this
I
week.
thought you
Let's do
meant
it.
this week. I was like,
Let's
there's
do
no
it.
way. No way.
I'm so excited.
Well, okay, this was my local longs versus your local longs, right?
I think it was just pick two courses where you
Yeah,
guys play about the same.
It
I
was.
know. I thought
we're
it was
picking
cast.
two courses where we could have a lot of birdie opportunities.
Yeah, I thought it was cast longs for me.
And I was gonna do Tranquility Shorts for me, which is
Yeah.
a course that I've shot like 13, 14 under at.
Yeah, I thought you were
then
doing
I will
cast
play
shorts.
shorts too.
Corey.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought you were
I
just
guess
cast
so.
shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Corey has
yeah.
been very confident in his skill for this challenge, by the way, Tyler. So
Corey is just very confident in general. So
that is true.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned that over the last 2 years about Corey. So I'm not saying he won't do it. I'm just saying, and you could come up to me and be like, I don't know, man. Corey's real confident. Like, yeah, I know. Corey's confident about taking a shit. So I mean, same thing.
You know what they
I feel
say?
like
The early bird makes lemonade.
Eats
So.
the pizza. I feel like confidence level. Corey said he'd be 90% CONX from 400. Corey did say that. Confidence level. I don't think
I didn't say 400. I said 300.
He said 300. But what were you from
there's
300?
two more polar
50.
opposites confidence level than me and Corey.
I tell this to Nadia sometimes. Like, Corey just says the most wild disc golf takes about himself. Like, you might be the most confident 900 rated disc golfer on the planet.
I'm not 900 rated.
Sorry, 899.
899 rated. And I refuse to play another tournament.
He's done. He's retired. No, well, speaking of disc golf rounds that I'm excited to watch, we have our first major starting tomorrow. We should probably talk about that, at least a little bit, right? So we got Champions Cup coming up at the OTB Open course out in, Swenson? Somewhere in California, Stockton, California. I realized today that there's not been a major. They had the FPO major in California. There's not been a West Coast major since 2011 Worlds. So I'm excited to see what kind of crowd shows up for a major in California, birthplace of the sport. It's pretty wild.
And Utah does not count for West Coast.
I in my mind I was saying California major, but I just lumped that into West Coast, I guess.
I guess in my head, Masters Cup was always a major, but I guess it wasn't. Bring back
National
Masters
Tour.
Cup, man.
Yeah, bring back Masters Cup for real.
I'm always a Masters Cup fan for sure.
I don't love the West Coast disc golf swing, gonna be honest, but I would watch Masters Cup. I really would.
Yeah. Get to hear Ezra and Goose talk about how janky De La is for a week.
De La's southern California. I think it's close-ish to San Diego, right?
San Diego, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Googling.
What are we to expect at this year's major? By the way, if there's ever a time for Calvin to win one, it's right now.
Yeah, it is. Now is the time. Now.
This could be an AB. It could be an AB major because didn't he win not last year? Or no, he came in second to Simon.
Yeah, let's say it's Simon. Calvin was last year. I think Eagle has won recently too.
Who's the sneakiest potential winner of this event?
Emerson Keith.
Emerson Keith. Whoa. I guess he did win last year, yeah.
I'm just saying he won 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think Gavin Rathbun could pop out.
Gavin was second last year.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Drew Gibson.
Oh
Danger
wow.
Fresno.
Imagine Drew wins.
Drew Gibson, major champion, you would never hear the end of it. You're telling me this tattooed guy won a pro tour?
No, I was thinking more along every time I log into YouTube, it's a new Drew video in all caps. How I won a major championship. Just gotta milk that thing for at least a year.
This guy straight up just left prison and now he won a major championship.
Jeez. I mean, he kind of has been in prison, but not really. Garrett Gerthy would be my dark horse.
Gerthy too.
Dude, anyone remember when Garrett Gerthy threw away Portland Open by throwing a forehand on
Yes. Yes.
I mean, talk about all-time stupid decisions.
Yeah. Sometimes people don't know how to play these holes, man. They get nervous. They try to play it smart.
Yeah.
Stick to your guns, man. Do what you do best. Or do what's comfortable for you.
Are you guys still in the mindset of hashtag not my Champions Cup? It's not a wooded course. This major kind of sucks, or are we still are we in that mind?
Yeah.
I've kind of grown out of it. I think I'm just more excited to watch now, and obviously it's less than ideal, but I do think that it's a good organizing committee. I think the Seans do a very good job at OTB Open at making it a very good spectator event. So I'm excited to see what they do.
Could be good.
What percentage needs to be wooded for you to consider it a proper Champions Cup course?
Man, I want it to be 90, 95% wooded, to be honest.
So me from 300?
Huh?
So like me from 300.
Well, no, that would be more like OTP. No, I really enjoyed when this event was at WR. Obviously, the Pine Beetles ruined that.
Yeah.
I didn't love that our decision was to go to Northwoods Black because there's so many wooded courses we could have chosen from. Yeah, I don't know.
Is there anyone out there that would ever just like open their eyeballs and say, I don't care when it is, we should just put this at Maple Hill and just make Maple Hill a major course?
It should be.
It is kind of crazy.
Like ubiquitously the most loved disc golf course like in the country.
Well, this is what I think. I know it doesn't equate to this, but when I think wooded, I think, very difficult. Oh, Corey's gone.
Bye, Corey.
I still see him.
Okay, that's so weird because you said the same thing earlier, Mac, and then I still saw him. But anyways,
yeah, same.
So I think of Champions Cup, and if we're gonna make it wooded, that to me equates to like a U.S. Open in golf. So U.S. Open in golf, everything gets elevated conditions wise. So the roughs gets longer, the greens get faster. To me, that's kind of like what wooded golf is with disc golf, right? Because the rough gets harder because it's wooded. So in disc golf, they should have a rotation of a couple courses that are heavily wooded. You can put Maple Hill on there. And so like every year we have a rotation of like US Open courses that we like to go to. And some of those courses get put on the tour. So we can do something like that with Maple Hill where we don't go there for a tour event, but it gets made into a Champions Cup course every 5 years, but you can still on the other 4 years make it a regular tour course. So they could do something like that, in my opinion.
I gotta mute Corey for a second.
I can't even hear Corey.
I can't hear him at all. It's so weird.
I can hear him. I can hear the stream going through his mic, and he's just laughing at things. Yeah.
No, I do think that would be an interesting solution. Because I Champions Cup has just had such a tumultuous history, like already. And
sorry, I just saw the stream. I get it now. Sorry.
I don't even know what to say anymore. But I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it. If you, I asked pre-show, none of us watched, but the President's Cup did go down today for the first time on U.S. soil. 12-0. Feels good to be undefeated. Here as an American disc golfer.
America, baby.
Proud to be. Definitely a weaker European team, I feel like, than years past. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe longer than that, because I remember Seppo Paiu being on it. But like, I specifically remember 1 year not too long ago where like there was some genuine fear of like, oh, this could be the one. Like this could be the one that we lose.
Last year it got kind of interesting at one point, but it wasn't that big of a scare.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now Mac's gone. Dropping like flies.
It's just
us.
Just Dumb and Dumber.
Picture for Mac.
Oh, what is happening, dude?
If anybody in the chat wants to join our podcast, let us know. We've got some openings.
Where did Corey go?
I don't know.
This is so interesting.
Don't worry, I've got random pictures that I've used for thumbnails recently.
This might be one of the worst technical issues we've had on the show.
This is pretty rough.
It's not just one of us, it's two of us. Just straight up gone. Unless this was planned by Corey and Mac.
I wouldn't put that past him, honestly.
To be funny. I don't know. Oh, Paul Macbeth. Okay. What is Mac? I can join, but I'm sorting memorabilia. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get. We gotta get a update from Ryan about what's going on. What is he bringing? I guess he might be there on the grounds at the. I don't know. So Taylor, what do we expect this week from this course? You have any idea?
I'm excited. I think this will be the most widespread example of changes to a course in a 4-round tournament being played at the same course. I think at least 9 holes have alternate pin positions and tee pads, so it does sound like they're trying to spice things up. I know Ledgestone has done this multiple times where they'll change some pin positions just to keep things interesting, but I think without that this would be a pretty hard watch, just in that, you know, it is an open golf course style course that is being played 4 days in a row, so I'm glad we have that. I didn't listen to the entire thing. I was listening to an interview on the Upshot podcast with the TDs, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of infrastructure put in to make this, you know, a really, really good spectator event. So I think that's what I'm mainly excited to see, just like again, with it being the first major out in California in a long time, how well they can, what kind of crowd they can bring in. Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, are they bringing in like stands for people to sit in? Like that would be.
Sounds like I know the past few years they've had a really built up like not VIP section, but kind of, you know, they've got drinks, they've got food, and kind of in the middle of the course. And it sounds like at least a few of those alternate pin locations are really trying to highlight that area. So like be in a location where discs are, you know, you can see multiple holes at the same time, like have a really good viewing experience from that area.
Yeah. I feel like they gotta, that'd be cool. If they build up some finish, coming down the finish, some stands and whatnot, that'd be really cool.
My question was...
I can't hear him.
Well, Corey, it is not a part of this conversation.
You'll just have to tell me what he says.
Corey, just smile and nod.
Yeah, just interject with something random. My question is, for years we have heard that USDGC, that Winthrop will not be there forever, which I agree with. So my question is, what course currently on the Pro Tour would be best suited to replace Winthrop in the event we can't use it anymore?
It's a great question.
I gotta stick with Maple Hill, not in the sense of like it's a 1-to-1, like that is, you know, the most like it playing wise. I just think that of all courses that you could like hand pick, I just think that's the most deserving of a major. I know there's a lot of concerns like parking and like spectators at that course for the most part, which maybe has prevented it from becoming a major course, but it would just be so sick. Like in the instance that like Steve Dodge basically, you know, owns the property, owns the course, like it's going to be something that's there for a while and we could really mold into being like, I think that's the one course that like 60 years from now you could look back and just be like, it's so sick that we've had like whatever major at Maple Hill for 50 years.
Yeah.
I don't know what course. What are you thinking, Mac?
My initial thought was actually also MVP. My only concerns there are, one, it's not exactly in a disc golf mecca, though I think people would travel for it.
Yeah.
And two, we'd have to change the time of year.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But it's going to be way too cold, I think, by the time USDGC comes around.
For sure.
No, for sure.
Corey, what if you leave and rejoin?
Yeah, no, totally. All right.
His answers were really well timed.
That was to say, it honestly was timed up pretty well. Can I go on a related rant real quick? This is actually very, very related. I feel like maybe I just don't know what's important in disc golf or to disc golfers. But I feel like most of the time, like disc golfers will get annoyed or complain or like make a huge deal out of things. And in my mind, I'm like, not that big of a deal. Like, just we'll figure it out. It's okay. Stop complaining. No one is talking about the European Open potentially just not existing anymore. And
yeah, for sure.
I feel like that's a way bigger deal that we should be hearing about. Like, there's an interview with UC last week where he's basically just like, yeah, I don't really know if I'm going to run this anymore. I don't know if the course is going to be there. We know we're losing at least a few holes because the city wants to put in a swimming pool. Like, that is the reason.
That's like, how you know your sport is prestigious.
Why is this not the bigger deal? Like, that is like,
why is
the same reaction? Like, this is disc golf being disc golf. Like, hey, we have this major championship that's been there for decades. But yeah, the city wants a swimming pool, so forget the $5 to $6 million that this one event generates. We're gonna take the swimming pool.
Why does this keep happening to all the good courses?
Yeah, didn't was it Stafford Woods? Was it Stafford Woods that recently got like the community basically convinced them to not take the course out or something?
Yeah, I mean, the long story short there was that people have been the property next to it, which is a vineyard, complained about the disc golf and disc coming over to their property, whatever. And then all of a sudden the government just like went extreme with it and said, shut it down. And so finally people talk with that property owner and they figured things out. So then they had to go to the government and be like, oh, we don't want to do this anymore. But now it's like, okay, now they're bringing it back. They have to do certain environmental things to preserve.
Also, was Stafford Woods the one where there was something like it's technically a conservatory, and like I think the basis that they had, and it may have started with complaints too, but I think the basis they had was they were making too many alterations to like wildlife, essentially. Like they were cutting too much brush or like doing too much to the land, and I think it was either on that property or they were receiving funding or something because it was a conservatory or something like that. I think it was like environmental too.
It definitely could have been because they have to take out all the concrete pads and they have to put in turf.
Yeah.
I'm going to be excited about that, Mac.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I can't tell if Corey can't hear us.
This is the Corey that we get the rest of the night now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure.
The point was that why are we not seeing as big of a push for a much larger course, right?
Exactly.
Especially,
yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we need to start. Well, it's easy for me to say. I'm not buying anything. We need to privatize who owns the property.
Yeah.
Because we're building courses on, for sure. We are building courses on either public property or borrowed property. And then anybody else just kind of drunk now off of no alcohol?
There's a lot of stuff going on.
This whole back and forth. Yeah.
Speak for yourself, dude.
Yeah, like that's I think that's the disc golf effect, right? Where we talked about this when we went to Charlotte last year of we're going to this one of the most prestigious disc golf courses in the sport, right? In Winthrop Gold. And you're like, this is at a small university's campus. Literally is where we're going campus. To, right? It's like, oh, we're going to a public park to play one of the best disc golf courses that exists.
Yeah, I truly don't know how to change that perception though.
Yeah.
What happens when Winthrop doesn't want it there anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just gone.
The whole thing about Winthrop though is that we've just used it for so long. It's built that prestige because honestly, the course it's not that special.
It's a challenge though.
Yeah, it's a great course. Don't get me wrong, but you could realistically build that course 100 different places.
It's the only care because that has history, right?
Exactly.
You can go back to the archives and find, Ken Climo playing Winthrop Gold in the 80s. Yeah. It's that's the only course you can do that on.
I think if we just found one private venue and just no matter what, there's an event there every year. By 15 years in, that would be the new USDGC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Hey, let's do some.
So where are we going to buy property?
Yep. Corey's
For
on
sure.
Corey's on the 10-second delay now.
So picks.
Am I?
Hey guys,
Anyone
let's
else
do some
did Corey
picks.
just say that and you hear his voice like 10 seconds later?
Yeah.
All right, so we got points for Champions Cup that are worth double. It's been a while since we talked about picks, since Mac made some great picks for me at the Kansas City Wide Open, so shout out to
Wild
Mac. But
good picks.
we have a tie at the top right now. Matt did pick the winner in Gannon Burr, and we had a tie for Dark Horse with Silas Schultz and Connor
For
Rock.
sure.
So Matt and I both got a point for that. Our current standings are me and Matt tied at 8 points, Tyler's got 6, and then Corey has got 3 points. So the order is going to be Matt in this case, Mac, and then me, and then Tyler, then Corey.
Corey's in the lead.
Okay.
Oh, I did that backwards. I forgot. Hold on. It's going to be Corey, and then Tyler, and then me, and then Mac.
I'm winning.
Corey's winning. All right, so Corey, you get to lead us off with picks.
Okay. I'm gonna just play it smart and say Gannon Burr.
Got to. Any
Got to.
speech? Do you want to
What?
give a speech about why?
Oh,
Okay.
for sure. I think Gannon. I think Gannon's like one of those guys that's like just good, for sure. And so, like, you know,
For sure.
For sure.
Good one.
for sure.
That's a for sure pick.
For sure. Lock it in.
for sure.
Tyler, who's your next for sure pick here?
Okay. It's got to be Calvin. I
love it.
I think of all
He's a Calvin
people,
stan.
if for all people,
It's like the least committed Calvin stand of all time.
all right, Calvin. That's all I'm saying.
go.
Calvin's
Yeah.
never gonna win. I'm picking Calvin.
Exactly. That's just why I'm picking it, because it's got to happen eventually. It would be wild to think that not only would this be Calvin's first
For
major,
sure.
but it's also his first win of the year. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if you think about it, either way, Tyler is right. Either Calvin never wins, or he was right because he picked him.
that's right.
He's playing both sides. So smart.
I've been doing it for weeks.
It's literally putting 100 on red and 100 on black at the same time.
Just figure it out. We'll figure it out. Here's the storyline for me. All right. Rory won the Masters after a very long drought. It's been a long time. Not quite the Masters equivalent, but I'm going to take Ricky. Wysocki here to figure it out with the Discraft. What is the narrative going to be? I didn't even think about this. Paul switches to Discraft, wins Worlds again. What if Rick switches to Discraft, wins a major? There's a narrative there to build up.
Huge.
Brixton will find a way to put King Climo in it.
Yes, that's true.
My for sure pick this week for Mr. Marsh is going to be Anthony Barella, otherwise known as Gannon Burr's arch rival.
He loves
True.
JB.
Yeah. I think he's going to come out on a course that's really good for him, and he's going to putt well for once this season. I don't think he's putt very well, but I think this is going to be his tournament. I think he's going to come down to the wire against Gannon.
Really cool doing it.
If you didn't know, guys, if you were in our live, Anthony Barella was actually on our podcast briefly. So
Mhm.
you really got to tune in for those.
He was here at the beginning and in the middle.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then you have another pick, Mac, for the back-to-backs of the snake.
Okay. For my second, I'm going to go with Mr. Niklas Antila.
Wow.
Ride the hot
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, I mean, his hand is hot right now, and if there's one thing that he can do, it's not throw it out of bounds.
It is true. I'm gonna go maybe slightly unconventional here, and more of a field pick than anything. But I'm gonna go Ezra Robinson.
No.
I think he's got a chance out here.
Dang
I
it.
think that's it sounds like a pretty popular thought. Gauging the reaction of everything else.
How does his like 9 over at Eagles Crossing affect your pick?
He'll be all right. Mentally solid. He got
9 over at Eagles Crossing. Didn't get picked for President's Cup. He is rock solid.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's got the stinker out of the way. He's ready to go now. It's locked in. Another narrative, switch to Discraft, win a major. It's out there.
Yeah, I mean, I might ride the hot hand too right now.
Calvin again.
Picking Calvin.
Now,
2 Calvins.
I mean, he played into the top 5 at Kansas City Wide Open, so I'm going to go Gavin Rathbun.
I like it. I love it, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it.
I want some more of it.
I tried so hard.
Give me Simon Lizotte.
You can have him.
Okay.
By virtue of your pick.
And then
Ken Climo. Switch to Discraft, win a major.
I'm gonna say I don't know, just give me Chris Dickerson.
There you go.
I'm going to choose a guy who loves to show up for majors. Isaac Robinson. Finished 5th and 6th in the last 2 weeks. He's right there. He's right there.
Trending.
He's right there.
For sure.
All right. I wasn't going to be the guy, but I got to be the guy.
Yeah, you got to.
I got to be the one believer.
You should be the guy.
I gave him to you.
Give me Paul Macbeth.
Yes, I wanted you to have him.
My guy.
McButt.
I will triple my bet. If you don't know, join our Discord. I can't believe this is the first Discord plug of the podcast. That is shameful. Join our Discord. Current bet, if Paul Macbeth wins the season, I'm putting a Paul Macbeth line disc in my bag. If he wins a major, I'll put 3.
Oh, wow. That's huge. That's huge.
Who?
That the Discord gets to pick, by the way, also.
Oh, wow.
Who should I pick? I'm feeling froggy, to be honest. I just don't know which way I want to go.
If you want to be a true Matthew Marsh supporter, you can just put lock in Calvin Longquist for this pick.
Absolutely not. I am not that froggy. I feel like I remember this course. Obviously, it plays well to bombers, but I feel like it also plays well to the left to right shot. So I am going to pick Austin Turner.
That's also a certified Matthew Marsh pick.
Yeah, Mac, can you do me a favor and say zesty?
Dude, that pick was so zesty.
Yeah.
It's
you
like
guys are straight up glazing me right now on
You are Matt for sure, dude. Aren't you about to get married?
Sigma.
You got a little bro somebody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so is it my turn for dark horse pick?
It is.
It goes right back down the line.
Yeah.
What's the criteria for dark horse? Just outside top 40?
Top 40.
Outside of the top 40 in the PDGA rankings.
Boys, how crazy would it be?
By the way, you cannot take James Conrad because he just poked out of the top 40.
Let's go, James.
Okay, question. Can I pick James Proctor because he just came off injury?
He's got to be outside top 40.
He is number 15.
By the way, Casey White is not in the top 40 anymore. Casey White, you cannot take that dude anymore.
Guys, how crazy would it be for me to take Connor Rock 2 weeks in a row?
That would be pretty wild.
That would be pretty wild. And he would win 2 weeks in a row. That would be wild.
Mr. Matthew, I'm taking Connor Rock.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Lock him in.
Bless.
I cannot wait for Connor Rock to pop off a top 20.
Dude, he's due for like a 109 finish. So
Yeah.
That's next week.
Oh man, I really want to. I feel like this year's Silas Schultz is last year's Austin Turner, where he just like ripped off like 6 dark horse wins in a row. But I can't do that. I got to take my guy, my teammate. I'm gonna take Garrett Gurthie. I feel like he could make a splash here.
Yep. I'm gonna go with a guy who finished. Where did he finish here last year?
For sure.
24th.
Sure.
He finished 24th, so not spectacular, but I think he played decent last week. Anyways, it's going to be Jona Heinonen.
Tuna. I'm gonna call. You know what? I'm just gonna put in Hein Daddy.
Oh wow!
I'll know who that is.
So recently I've been watching a lot of like in-depth videos on like shoes. Like one of my favorite professional skateboarders just got a new shoe with New Balance. Had a whole hour-long special on like just the crazy details of him cutting open different shoes and finding like what he wants. And because of that, I'm going to go with the guy that wears the weirdest high top skate shoes, no matter what. Luke Humphreys.
There it is. There it is.
He's wearing some like what looks like the brown iPath skate shoes. I don't know if you guys remember those, but they had literally like a pocket in the tongue to hide your weeds.
Yeah.
So
can I just say nobody taking Robert Burridge is a little criminal considering he finished in the top 10 last year.
Washed. Yeah, well.
Oh, he's washed. Like Dove washed or like Irish Spring washed?
Like that Dawn dish
sure.
washed.
For sure.
Damn.
All right, well, there are our picks for the 2025 Champions Cup. Worth double for a major, as always, first major of the year. So big moves can be had in the points. And it wouldn't be an unfinished business episode if we didn't have a little bit of a game here at the end. So I have got some recap, get you caught up with Champions Cup as a whole trivia. Have your Discord ready to DM me your answers. Sure. This is going to be in the DMs. I'm going to give you guys a trivia question. And if you get it right, you get a point. Simple as that. There's a couple in here that you have to be the one that gets closest to get the answer, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. I'll pull up my Discord DMs. Question number 1. I've got 10 questions. What year was the inaugural Champions Cup?
What are we doing? We're sending it in Discord?
Discord DMs. Yeah, slide in.
Okay.
The water's fine. And there's a lot of water.
Okay. All right. So discord.com /answer for Taylor.
And for anybody out there listening, join the Discord. And you can also DM me. Corey just sent me 1953. I just want to make that be known. We're going over on this one. So Tyler sent in 2019, Max in 2021. It was 2022 was the first Champions Cup. It's a young boy. This is going to be a simple.
It's very new.
I thought you said Stanley Cup.
Stupid.
For sure.
It would be really funny if it was actually 1953, but
question number 2, this is true or false. True or false, the intent of Champions Cup was for it to be held at the IDGC permanently. Corey's been typing for a little bit, so I'm scared to see what comes into my DMs in a second.
It's just a link to the Stanley Cup Wikipedia
Corey and
page.
Mac got this one right. It is false. It was initially proposed to be a bid system, similarly to Worlds, to bid for the location of the tournament.
Okay, cool.
This is going to be a little bit of a fill in your own answer, and I'll be the judge. But what was the most controversial detail about the Champions Cup announcement?
Which Champions Cup announcement?
Just the initial announcement when they put it out, announced what Champions Cup was. There was a very controversial piece.
Go ahead. Message it,
I don't want to put that in there. I'll put it as my second
Corey
one.
likes to send me a lot of things in my DMs when we do these. Corey, that was a close guess. It would be held on Tuesday. We're stumped here. When they first initially announced the Champions Cup, it was going to be 4 rounds of stroke play, followed by 2 rounds of seeded match play on the same day as the final round, and that was going to be how they determined the major winner. So there was some pretty immediate pushback on that. Our next question is: how long did it take for the PDGA to announce that they were moving to all stroke play for the major versus having 2 match play rounds? And this is the closest to gets the point.
So say that again.
How long did it take for the PDGA to announce that they were moving to stroke play versus the originally proposed match play format? After a visit from Kona and Yuli went to the IDGC to talk to them about this as representatives of the Players Union. Players Association, something like that.
Am I close?
That probably would change my answer.
It was actually
keep it.
11 months. So it was Champions Cup was announced in January, and it took them till November. So the closest actually was
crazy.
Tyler at a month, but yeah, it took a while. We were rolling. We were rolling with match play for a while. All right, 2 points. 2 points eligible. 2 points eligible for this one. Who won the 2022 Champions Cup? 1 point for MPO, 1 point for FPO.
Ooh, FPO.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Nope. That's not my answer.
Tyler, do you have an FPO guess in there?
Oh, I need an FPO one.
We got 2 points for Macure, 1 point for Tyler. It was Chris Dickerson and Paige Pierce was the winner of the 2022 Champions Cup. All right, so now we're moving on to 2023 in the world of Champions Cup.
For sure.
Where was the 2023 Champions Cup first slated to take place? So it was first announced. What course, what location was it scheduled at?
I know this one in my heart of hearts.
I'm thinking. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're over on this one. It was originally scheduled to take place at Toboggan, home of the Discraft Great Lakes Open.
Okay, but technically I was right.
Back was technically right in saying it was not the IDGC. Follow up that with where did the 2022
Wait, did you say not
actually occur?
the IDGC?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
What was the question?
Where did it actually take place? 2023 Champions Cup.
I just put toboggan.
Context clues. Corey's noodling over here.
He's noodling so hard.
We are 2 out of 3 on this one. It was at the International Disc Golf Center, not the Fort, Corey. Sorry, that was Worlds. And
For sure.
who won? Who won the 2023 Champions Cup again? 1 point for MPO, 1 point for FPO.
FPO. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm changing my answer.
Answer changes are allowed. Up to when Corey sends me his answer.
Okay. You still have time.
Tyler, I like your blue crab pillow, man.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good aesthetics right there.
Maryland represent.
I said Pete Ulibarri. What is happening? 2 points for Mac, 1 for Tyler. It was Isaac Robinson and Kristen Then Tatar for your winners of the 2023 Champions Cup. We got 2 questions left. It is currently Corey has 1 point, Tyler has 4 points, and Mac has 6 points. So some motion could still be made here.
Keep up, guys.
Next question is, how many times was the 2024 Champions Cup rescheduled?
Oof.
All right, we're making our motion happen. Tyler's the only correct answer here. It was twice. It was originally scheduled and then moved to Northwood once they realized the pine beetle infestation was going to take out WR Jackson, and then moved again because it was in the middle of the European swing and people were pissed. Last question here. We got a true false. True false. In the 2024 Champions Cup, Brody Smith made the cut.
I got a 50-50 here. Is 2024?
2024. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tiebreaker situation coming up. Corey and Tyler got this one right. Brody Smith made the cut at the 2024 Champions Cup, but did not cash. So that is depressing.
That's what it was.
All right. So what I have here for the tiebreaker, in 2022, Chris Dickerson won Champions Cup. I have written down the 4 members of the lead card for the final round of that Champions Cup. Whoever can tell me the highest number of correct names of those 4 from the lead card will get the dub here in Champions Cup trivia between Mac and Tyler. Corey, you can participate too.
Wowie.
You literally said I was in the tiebreaker because I got the last one.
There you go. Corey's in.
I mean, honestly, Tyler, if you get 1, you might win this.
You have the free space of Chris Dickerson. We know Chris won. I guess
that doesn't mean he was on lead card.
That's true.
I'm letting other tournaments bleed into my picks.
2022. I'm trying to think who was playing good that year. All right, I submitted mine.
Should we wait for Corey's submission?
I think I got at least. I think I've gotten at least one.
All right, so Tyler submits Simon, Paul, Chris Dickerson, and James Conrad as his lead card, and then Mac comes in with Chris Dickerson, Calvin Heimberg, Adam Hammis, and Paul Macbeth. So some differences here. What's Corey got for us? Just this guy's clowning. It's actually Mac takes home the dub here. So this lead card was Ricky Wysocki in the lead with Calvin Heimberg 1 stroke behind, Chris Dickerson 2 strokes behind, and Gavin Babcock was in there as well.
Oh, this was the Gavin year. I didn't know if that was the next year when Paul shot 16 the last round.
Oh yeah, to like rocket back up on the leaderboard.
Yeah. This was the tiny wrestling shorts.
I just knew Paul played well at this course, and then I just picked Adam and Calvin because they were disgusting at what was it, Masters?
I think James Conrad might have been lead card day 3 because I definitely remember him.
He was up there. I remember that.
Yeah.
But there's our Champions Cup trivia. Make sure to go out and watch the Champions Cup this weekend. And while you're watching, if you see anybody throw something and be like, wow, that's a sick shot, that's a sick frisbee, I want to buy that, use our affiliate link and go buy it from foundationdisc.com. You can also buy some unfinished. Not Mac's affiliate link for any Prodigy discs. We don't support that here. I totally forgot, and I'm so glad Tyler remembered. We've got a new segment here on the show. We've got Tyler's Tub, where we are all going to guess a disc, and we are going to see if we can guess it correctly from what is in Tyler's Tub that is always making cameo in every podcast. I'm going to take the Innova Eagle.
Ooh.
That's my guess.
I'm going to throw a plastic out there just for funsies. I'm going to go Star Wraith.
Hold on, I don't know what's going on.
For sure.
It's a Buzz.
I'm trying to reach way down. It is. You can't really tell because it's a blank disc, but it's on the back. It is a Latitude 64 Mercy putter.
Oh,
dirty dog. Yeah, how electric would it be if one of us got it the first try?
First time. Oh, dude, I have a pure with that stamp. That thing's sick.
Yeah.
There you go. If you want a Latitude 64 Mercy, go grab one of those. Use our affiliate links for all the stuff. Technical difficulties this week. As always, Mac, thank you a ton for stepping in on short notice to cover
the official pitch hitter of UFB.
And come join us in the Discord or YouTube Live, Spotify, Apple Music, all the places. Wednesday nights at 7:45 Central Time. We'll see y'all next week.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.